You want to make sure that you diversify your investments. Some people will come to me and they say, what should I invest in? Welcome to the podcast, Living Legacies with LaVeta. I'm your host, LaVeta Hayes. And today I'm so excited because it is the release of my new coloring book. The title is A Coloring Adventure in Finance, Living Legacies with LaVeta. So I'm so excited to be able to share this information with you today. So you're going to learn a little bit about finance, but it's not going to be heavy. It's going to be fun because that's what it's all about, just having fun when we're talking about finance. So welcome again. Living Legacies with LaVeta, A Coloring Adventure in Finance is a groundbreaking educational tool designed for parents, students, teachers, and caregivers aiming to impart crucial financial literacy concepts in an enjoyable manner. We want to make it fun. Similar to how a tree draws nourishment from its roots, our lives flourish through our financial decisions. Within this coloring book, we've incorporated natural landscapes to ground and relax you as we embark on a captivating financial adventure. This innovative coloring book merges fun and education, offering a hands-on learning experience that engages participants in all ages in actively shaping their financial understanding. By combining this imaginative activity of coloring with finance education, Living Legacies with LaVeta inspires confidence and proactivity in users, ensuring they embark on a journey toward financially secure future. In essence, this coloring book adventure provides a valuable and enjoyable approach to instilling financial literacy and making budgeting, savings, and investing accessible and memorable. What we're going to look at today, talking about retirement. Since I've retired, I did 37 years with the federal government, retired as a branch chief. So one of the things that I looked at before I retired, I was about 5 years out from retirement. And I knew then that I was going to retire, and I wanted to make sure that I was going to retire comfortably. So in the book here, we're going to talk about relaxation retirement. How do we do that? How do we retire and relax at the same time? So we say here, by planning strategically, managing finances wisely, and investing sensibly, you can increase the likelihood of a comfortable retirement. So one of the things I said I did, I started early. 5 years out from retirement, I retired in 2014. So I went to my HR to see what did my numbers look like, okay? Because I knew that I wanted to retire at the age of 55, and I did that. So you want to make sure that you begin your savings and investing for retirement as soon as possible, okay? Even if you're 10 years out, what does those numbers look like? So you want to take a look at that. And also, in the meantime, you want to budget and you want to save. So the main thing when we talk about that is live within your means, okay? We're always sell here, sell there, but is it really a sale? Is it a need or is it a want? So you want to make sure that you budget and save consistently. One thing my daughter even taught me, my daughter, Dr. Lania Charity now, is a chiropractor in Houston. And she told me one of her savings practices was to save $5. Whenever she had change and it was a $5 bill, she started saving. So I started that practice, and it's amazing how much you will have at the end of the year. So that might be a practice that you may learn to do. And another friend of mine, I remember when they were talking about savings, they would take, I believe it was either a dollar bill, and if it had their name on it, like mine's LaVeta, with the L. So if it started with the L, I would save that dollar or save a $5 or $10. So just different little budgeting strategies, saving strategies that you could think of. So the other thing you want to think about when you're talking about retirement is to invest wisely. You want to make sure that you diversify your investments. Some people will come to me and they say, what should I invest in? Well, I don't know, because what we have to do is sit down to see what is your risk tolerance, because that is very important when we're talking about risky tolerance. And the one thing too, when you're closer to retirement, you may not want to be so risky. So you may want to be just in moderate investments. So something to really think about when you're talking about retiring and you want to invest wisely. And the main thing when we're talking about investing, make sure that you're talking to a licensed professional, because one thing you see all of this on social media, but are they licensed? So that's important to really look at, to make sure that that person is a licensed financial professional, to make sure that they give you the right guidance. The other thing is plan for healthcare. And we know as we're getting a more senior involved, like me, I just turned my Medicare age of 65. So I wanted to make sure my healthcare was in place. So if you remember the podcast that we did with Ask Marley, so you can go back and review that. Ask Marley was talking about Medicare, the different things that are going on with Medicare. So you want to make sure she is that professional that you can talk to. And also when we're talking about healthcare, what does your healthcare involve? So make sure that you're using all of the benefits of your healthcare. Don't leave it to your providers to make sure that you understand if they have classes, if they have books, if they have podcasts. Make sure that you look at those to see that you're getting the best bang for your bucks. Because in my case, once I turned Medicare age, my whole Medicare changed, okay? My health care changed. So I wanted to make sure that I was getting the best bang for my bucks. So you want to make sure that you plan for the health care and look at that. The other thing, as you're planning for retirement, think about clearing your debts. You don't want to go into retirement with so many debts, okay? Credit card debt. That's like one of the worst things ever. So you want to make sure, look at your credit card debt. And also as you're clearing, you may even, if you have a house or home, look at that and see, what does it take to pay off that mortgage? I don't know, but look at that. But don't go into retirement with a whole lot of debt, because at the end of the day, you want to have fun in retirement. And that's one of the things that I did once I started looking at all of the different financial workshops that I was talking to, and making sure that my clients and everyone understood what that debt roll-up actually looks like. So definitely come to my workshops so that we can teach you about the financial workshops and the roll-up for the debt. So really good information there. So, and also when we're talking about that, the debt, look at your high credit. Look at those high credit debts. You may have some that's 20%, 30%. Come talk to me really, really fast, okay? But again, you want to clear those so that you can reduce that financial burden during retirement. The other thing, look at your expenses. Expenses is very important, because just think, when we retire, once I retired, I was in Virginia and I moved down here to Florida. So the one thing I thought about when we talked about expenses in Virginia, it's really, really expensive, okay, to live up there. Coming down to Florida, although Florida is getting up there now, but it was my money, my retirement money went a whole lot more. I had more money for retirement moving down to Florida because the cost of living was a little bit lower. Okay, food cost was lower. Housing was much lower. So you want to look at that. And the other big thing was when we talk about state tax, our taxes in Virginia, they taxed you for everything, right? So coming down to Florida, we didn't have that. I didn't have that state tax. So you want to look at different places that may offer that when we're talking about the taxes. So estimate what your retirement, and the other thing is clothes. I wasn't going to use all of those suits and everything that I used to wear. So look at that also when we're talking about expenses. So you want to ensure that you have enough saved to cover your expenses comfortably. So make sure you look at that. So definitely estimate your expenses in retirement. The other thing, consider downsizing. Okay, in Virginia, we had the big house and everything. So coming here, we needed to downsize. I really needed to look at downsizing to make sure that I didn't have all this house, okay? So look at downsizing. What I found is a lot of people, when they're looking at downsizing, when you're retirement, they don't want the house. They don't want to have to worry about the yard being taken care of, okay? Because that is a big expense if you have a big yard. And even your electrical bills and everything, if you've got this big house. So you want to look at that when you're talking about downsizing, okay? So very important to look at. So you want to evaluate whether downsizing or relocating could reduce your living expenses. So definitely consider downsizing. And the most important is stay informed. Stay updated on your retirement plans, performance, and adjust as needed. So there may come a time when you're looking at what your investments are in. You may want to look at that and say that, oh, I may need to adjust it. Just like I was talking about a little bit earlier about the investments, you want to make sure that, are you in a moderate? Do you still want to be risky? So you want to look at that so that you can make sure when that time comes for retirement that you are secure, you are safe. And like I said, when I retired at the age of 55, I was straight. I knew exactly the money that I had coming in, and also moving to Florida, it didn't cost as much. So definitely look at what are those different avenues for you. And I must admit that everybody's different. You know, everyone has a different outlook on retirement. So you want to do what is comfortable for you, not what someone else says, but what is comfortable for you. So thank you so much. You can view this podcast on all of the different podcast channels, and they will be posted. And also, my book will be coming out soon on Amazon, and also you can purchase the book on my website.